You ready? Okay, Jane, you're good?
Red?
Good evening. Today is February 11th, 2014. It is 7:30 PM on the dot. This is meeting number 2014-04. This is the Board of Trustees regular meeting. Please take the roll.
President Barry?
Here.
Trustee Desmond?
Here.
Trustee Carberry?
Here.
Trustee Vorder?
Here.
Trustee Strite will not be here tonight. Trustee Quinlan? Here. And Trustee Oliniechek?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Would everyone rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, for public comments, is Dr. Pablo Bernhardt here? Doctor, were you going to say some public comments?
Let's see.
Okay. He might have just been thinking he was signing in, so. Is the doctor here for public comments? Okay, we're gonna move on then. Item 4 on the agenda is the MS Walk. I'd like to call John and Megan Quinlan to the podium, please. And John, I understand you are Jane's son, and
Yes,
Megan, your
yes.
daughter-in-law. Nice to have you here
Lucky
today.
boy.
Good to be here. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the
Were you one of
board.
the famous twins?
I am. Famous, yes. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the board. My name's John Quinlan. I'm here with my wife, Megan. I came here to seek approval from the board to host this year's 2014 MS Walk here in Oak Lawn. This will be the 7th year in which Oak Lawn's hosted an MS Walk. This will be the 4th year with my wife and I running the walk. The walk's always the first Sunday of May. This year, it's going to be Sunday, May 4th. The walk's registration that day starts at 7:30 in the morning, and the walk kicks off at 9 a.m. The walk, again, will be at Richards High School, which is at 106th and Central. We're always located in the back south parking lot. The walk trail is about 2 miles. It's going to be a little bit different this year with the 111th Street construction, but it doesn't deviate the path too much, so I think we should be pretty good. Last year, guys, this walk, over 300 folks participated last year in the walk, which is a tremendous success for us, tremendous success for Oak Lawn, I think. Over $49,000 was raised at this walk alone for the MS Society here in Illinois, which is another huge accomplishment. Year over year, this walk continues to grow and continues to be a huge success. Thanks to the board here, all the participants in Oak Lawn and the surrounding suburbs as well. A few items for the walk. Folks can register online. That is at www.walkmsillinois.org. Any specific questions related to the walk can be directed to my wife, Megan. That email address that she set up for the MS Walk is oaklawnmswalk@gmail.com. Any other questions I can field, my wife can field now. Otherwise, you can contact us via email. We're looking to gain as much attendance again as possible and continue to grow this successful event here in Oak Lawn. So with that, we ask the board for approval for the event.
Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Properly moved by trustee Oliniechek, seconded by trustee Carberry. Any discussion? Please take the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Item 5 on the agenda is conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict of interest to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we are moving on to item 6. This is approval of meeting minutes of the regular meeting minutes 2014-02, dated January 28th, 2014. May I have a motion on item 6, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by trustee Vorderer,
Second.
seconded by trustee Desmond. Any discussion? Please take the roll.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
And Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 7 is new business by village trustees. We're going to start in District 1. Trustee Desmond, what's new?
I just want to tell people again about the Oak Lawn Jobs Fair at Richards High School on March the 6th. It's for all high school seniors. There's going to be representatives again from the various trades, and they can explain to the seniors how to apply for apprenticeships. And I was watching CNN last night, and it seems now like Washington DC have taken the lead from Oak Lawn, and it was disclosed that Hillary has a hit list. It's called Hillary Hit List. So it seems that this thing is spreading. So we need to be careful, or soon every politician in the country are going to want their own hit list. So Tom Phelan, you got a lot to answer for. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. We're going to move on to District 2. Trustee Olenichik.
Yes, I just have a couple of updates. The Oak Lawn Raiders Social Athletic Club is holding their, I want to say it's their 20th annual winter picnic this week, Sunday, from 1 to 6 at the Homestead Bar located at 93rd and Central. The Raiders Social Athletic Club does fundraising functions specifically to use the money to donate back into the community. And it's made up of 50 guys from the neighborhood and throughout the village of Oak Lawn and other villages. So it's their first fundraiser. I know that 99% of the money that the Raiders make, they give out to various families in need, Misericordia, many different charities. But it's a great event if you're looking for something to do on a nice cold Sunday afternoon. It's a Texas-style barbecue. Please come out and join them. Secondly, we got an update. I know that intergovernmental cooperation and actually getting something accomplished is a very good thing. And I just want to compliment this board and the previous board for entering into an agreement with Cook County to help us enforce our responsible landlord-tenant ordinance. The whole reason why we involved Cook County was we were having a hard time tracking down landlords who had vacant or abandoned homes in the village of Oak Lawn and then holding them accountable, which a lot of residents were getting very concerned about vacant property and rundown properties in the neighborhood. Since we've started this joint venture, we've been able to clean up many of the the issues that we've had through the neighborhood, but we've also been able to, the first check that came to us shows that we got our share of the fines being $17,625, which really isn't what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that we had some, as it was put at that time, some teeth behind our ordinance, and we had the hammer to be able to hold absent landlords, absent tenants and absent landlord accountable for upkeep of their properties and making sure the properties are in good shape. So it's still work in progress, but I can tell you, just from Second District, we've seen a lot of improvement. And finally, you know, we have a great village staff, and our fire department does a great job. But this past Saturday, the Oak Lawn community experienced an unfortunate fire-related death. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the victim. And in speaking with Chief Sheets, he shares my concerns, and he said, we're not just an entity that serves you, we hurt too. So if you can keep the firemen that went into that house and did the best that they could to save everybody that was in it, please keep them in your prayers, because that's a job that they do, and they don't ever talk about it, but you know that has an impact on their lives too. The other thing that the chief wanted me to remind you of is, for the past several years, the Oak Lawn Fire and Rescue Department has embarked on an aggressive campaign to ensure each resident in the village of Oak Lawn has a working smoke alarm. In 2009, our fire chief secured a number of smoke alarms through a generous donation from the Oak Lawn Home Depot store. Since that time, most of those alarms have been given to residents in need. Another request has been made from the Oak Lawn Home Depot and Bridgeview Menards for support of this. As the fire department liaison, I'd like to remind you that the fire department provides free of charge fire education talks and home fire safety inspections, and installs smoke alarms to seniors that might need assistance. It's my hope that the village never experiences another fire-related death. To do that, we need your assistance. Please take a moment tonight and test your smoke alarms. Replace the battery if it hasn't been charged in a while or changed, and please have a home fire escape plan. Chief, I don't know if you'd like to say some other words.
Thank you, Jill Nijic. I will say that we learned late this afternoon that the second victim of the fire that the firefighters pulled out did die due to her injuries. So that's unfortunate. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family members. But we, as Trustee Nijic said, that we have embarked on a very aggressive campaign to install smoke detectors, provide smoke detectors for seniors and other individuals that may not be able to afford them or install them. But we have a banner over there, and Tom, if you can pan in over there, we want to make sure that every citizen of this fine village understands that, you can have, 4 firefighters on an engine, you can have the best equipment that money can buy, but if residents don't take a moment and test their smoke detectors, have a home safety plan in place, then seconds count. But the firefighters and the apparatus really is nothing unless you take a moment to make sure yourself that you're safe and that you have a working smoke detector. So again, working smoke alarms, we want to make sure that you don't disable the smoke alarms. We want to make sure that you change the batteries twice, replace the smoke alarm every 8 to 10 years, check your smoke alarm monthly, and vacuum dust or any debris that may be in those detectors. But again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of these 2 sisters that died in this tragic fire, and we want to make sure that everyone in Oak Lawn stays safe. And if you have any questions or want to receive a smoke detector, give us a call at the fire department at 708-499-7810. Thank you.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. Very, very sad news, Chief. District 4.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to open with recognition of one of our longtime employees who passed away here in January 21st. Carolyn Smith worked for the police department as a community service officer, and certainly the title community service officer fit Carol's personality. She had great people skills. She served this village for many, many years, and she's going to be missed. She passed away with cancer, I believe. Is that correct, Chief? And on a better note, I want to recognize a program that the police department has had in place for 17 years. It's the Oak Lawn Peer Jury Program. And it's a program that started while I was still a policeman here, and what it does is it steers first-time juvenile offenders to a jury of their own peers. And the kids of the same age listen to the situation, the problems that these kids got themselves into, and then decide on a appropriate punishment, mostly community service type work. And the success of this program was overwhelming. Over 82% of the kids that participate in this never have any other contact with the police department. Now, this program is overseen by Officer Passetti now, and there are some civilians that help with this program. Mr. Jim Craig, who was a longtime school teacher at Oak Lawn High School, a gentleman by the name of Bill Egan, who's been involved in this community in many, many different programs, and I think they need to be recognized. One other point, not only does this help the kids who have got themselves in trouble, but it's a great tool for the kids that sit on that peer jury. My own 2 children years ago sat on that jury, and it gave them an opportunity to see the kind of things and the kind of trouble that kids can have and steered them on a straight way. So good job, Chief. Keep it going, and send my congratulations to Officer Passetti, Sergeant Passetti, correct, for his work there. Now, on the other news, today with the mayor, I attended the Chamber of Commerce luncheon where the mayor gave a presentation on the state of the village. And in the course of that presentation, she highlighted all the future construction projects that are going to be taking place in the next couple of years here, actually the next year in the village of Oak Lawn. And even I was surprised at the number of projects that are online. I thought, as a young boy, I remember when Oak Lawn was the pioneer community and everything was getting built. I see that there's a paradigm change going on here, and it probably spurred by Christ Hospital, Advocate Hospital, and the work that they're doing over there as we build many, many of these new clinics okay, which will redefine the way this village serves its community. In fact, in my district alone this week, the Midwest Orthopedics Consultant will be opening up on February 13th. That's a pretty impressive building at 4220 West 95th Street. It is the old State Farm building, an underutilized piece of property, and it's gorgeous, and I'll be there representing my district. And on top of that, the new pavilion, the new outpatient pavilion, will be opening up and having a ribbon-cutting ceremony on February 19th. Now, this pavilion is 8 stories tall, and each story will represent a medical profession's specialties. Like the 8th floor will be a cancer clinic. In the first floor of that building will be a diagnostic center, and every floor will treat some discipline in the health field. And I think it's only fair to say that the CEO, the president, Ken Lukart, of that facility really built a first-class world hospital, and I can guarantee you the day will come when the Mayo Clinic will have competition, and it will be not Rochester, Minnesota that makes the news, but the village of Oak Lawn. And not only that, Ken Lukart stepped up to the plate shortly after I got elected and partnered with the village and all the work of my previous trustees, the village manager, to pay impact fees of over $3.2 million, and an agreement that they will be partners with the financial issues this village has in the future. And I'm really proud to see that happening here. And with that, I conclude my report, Mayor.
Thank you. District 5, Trustee Quinlan.
Thank you. Actually, I just wanted to bring up, tomorrow is a Public Works meeting, and we were all given a packet which talks about next year's program for street resurfacing and the water main replacement. And I realize that our budget is much lower than what it has been over the past year, but District 5 is getting $0 towards any street resurfacing. Obviously, we don't have any alleys or water main replacement. So just doing my own little tally, which I do every year, that District 1 is getting $108,000, District 2, $1,353,000, District 3, $392,895, District 4, $188,000, and District 6, $305,000. And, you know, what I would ask at your Public Works Committee meeting tomorrow and direct staff, this is absolutely the worst, that not one street is being done in District 5, and that over $1 million is being spent in District 2. And I do have a hard time with the fact that we're doing 2 alleys, and I know there's one in District 2 and one in District 3. To me, especially after the brutal winter that we just had, the streets are going to be in worse condition. And so I ask that that committee relook at doing any alleys and put that off and concentrate more on streets, and certainly to look at District 5 and to add some streets to it. To me, that's just inexcusable. That, one district takes so much more money and nothing comes to District 5. That concludes my report.
Thank you. District 6?
Yes, thank you,
Trustee
Mayor.
Carbier.
Just a couple things. St. Catherine's Men's Club is going to be hosting its 31st sports night. It's our big fundraiser of the year, and it draws together over 650 men, and it's been a great success for us over the last, like I said, the last 31 years. So anybody who's interested in buying an ad, our ad book is a big portion of the way we we reach the people in St. Catherine's, and it's a big moneymaker for us. So if you could contact Sandy Lafrano at 708-473-0302 if you're interested in that or participating in a great night. That's going to be Saturday, February 22nd. One other thing, Bunny Coyne from our area's granddaughter was scored a couple goals. Jane, you know John and the parents, but the granddaughter, Bunny Coyne's in my district, and John and Lisa both, did you say they both?
Yes, they both graduated from St.
They
Catherine.
both graduated from St. Catherine's. Their daughter scored 2 goals for the representing the U.S. women's hockey team. So congratulations to Mrs. Coyne and to John and to Lisa. That's all I got, Mayor. Thank you.
Could I add just one thing?
Yeah.
The player's name is Kendall Coyne, and she's on the women's hockey team in the Olympics, and she's number 26. So watch for her. So hopefully they'll be playing the Canadians for
Yeah.
the gold. So great family, and her father's in the Hall of Fame at Brother Rice, so a lot of history here in Oak Lawn.
Yeah, thanks, Chief.
It's awesome. That it?
That's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Item 9 on the agenda is ordinance 140410. Whoops, I'm passing up our village manager, pardon me. Item 8, we can't forget village manager's report. Larry, you have the
You'll
floor.
be happy to know I have nothing more to report.
Okay, we'll move on then to item 9. Thank you, Larry. Ordinance 140410 is an ordinance amending certain provisions of Title 6 and 7 of the Village Code. This is building-related codes. May I have a motion, please, on item 9?
Motion approved.
Properly moved by trustee Quinlan,
I'll second.
seconded by trustee Vorder. Any discussion?
I got a couple of questions.
Trustee Desmond, you have the floor.
Again, I think we probably need more time to look at this. There's a lot of stuff here. Delete the entire section. I mean, do we need to know what we're deleting? I had a question on. Don, you might be able to answer this on the. It's on the drain tile. That you're changing the drain tile that goes around the building. I think it's a good idea, but my question is, you're requiring that we fill it with water. Now, usually at that stage of construction, the water service has been cut off for the old service, and the new service probably hasn't been installed yet. I mean, is it going to cause problems when it comes to test it? We're not going to have. Yeah.
Don, could I ask you to come to the podium so that you can address the questions? Thank you.
It's on page 29, Don.
So please state your name and position with the village, please.
Don McKenna, I'm Building and Zoning Administrator.
And the first paragraph.
Which code section was that?
29, 18-29-701. By deleting entire graph, it says, by deleting entire paragraph and substituting the following, the tile drainage inside any building, on page 29.
Right. Okay, well, you know, even though the water's been disconnected, if they don't have water available at the site, if they haven't brought in their own new water, there's usually, most contractors will come in for a meter and use the fire hydrant, because they still need water for either the concrete or washing down things, for the masonry. So there's still usually water on site.
Okay, so the village will allow them to use the fire hydrant?
Yes, they can go to the water department and obtain a hydrant meter.
Okay, good. That was my question.
Okay.
And any other questions, Tim? No?
Terry has.
Okay.
Don, as
Terry?
I understand it, this pamphlet, this code is the professional code recognized by the International Code Council on construction in residential and commercial areas.
The International Code Council is an organization. You know, it was a recent merger of 3 model codes in the United States. One of them being BOCA, that was right here in the Chicago area. They merged and formed one one organization. They prepare a model code which is adopted, almost universally throughout the United States, and now it's going into Europe now. It's a very recognized code. There is one other model code out there, but